Hello,
I,
once again, everyone. I'm your host, Ray Shasho. Welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends, brought to you by the Publicity Works Agency, specializing in authors and musicians. We shine only when we make you shine. Call us today at 9401 567 6193 or on the web at www.publicityworksagency.com and by the Rockstar Chronicles, Series 1, my new book featuring over 45 intimate conversations with the greatest music legends the world will ever know. It's available now at bookbaby.com and amazon.com. Melba Moore, the Tony Award winning Grammy Award nominated siren, has commanded stages around the world and who has conquered Broadway in memorable roles in Hair, PURLIE, and became the first black woman to inhabit the role of Fantine in Les Miserables. Also used the pandemic period of reflection to work on new music with her sweetest collaborator and greatest creation, her daughter Charli Huggins, who also happens to be the head of the Gallery Entertainment, her own independent label. Melba is the epitome of an entertainer and a consummate performer, honored with the likes of Diana Ross, Patti LaBelle, and Nancy Wilson. Melba Moore was among those who were celebrated at Oprah's now historic Legends Ball. So in Love, the first release from Imagine, her latest offering to the musical landscape, spent 3 weeks atop the UK Soul Top 30 chart in November of 2021 and returned more to the airways in the United States and around the globe. The world is ready for more Melba. Please welcome Tony Award winning, Grammy Award nominated singer, actress, and Broadway star, the marvelous Melba Moore, to Interviewing the Legends. Hello, Melba.
Hi there, Ray. Thank you for that introduction. I ain't got to say nothing.
We're done.
See ya. Thank you. Thank you.
You know what? We met in 1980s in Washington, D.C. Listen to this. I was in a family business on F Street. A couple of doors down was a record store. I think it was called Kent Mill Records, and we were friends with the manager. And he came over and said, "Come on over and meet Melba Moore." And we met. And I'm
Was it,
telling
was
you,
it in the record store?
we met at the record store. I think you were signing autographs or something from your new album back then.
I'm sure I was promoting a record.
But I said, "Man, you look so cool and hip, and you were so very attractive, like you are today, of course."
Oh,
And then a few years later, we opened up another business at the Marriott Hotel in DC. And guess who was my customer? Clifton
me?
Davis. No,
Oh,
Clifton Davis.
oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. He was a really nice guy.
Very good person. Yes.
Let's talk about the new album. I love it, by the way.
Oh, have you heard any of it?
I heard
I
the whole thing,
You did. Oh, whoa. Okay, that's great.
and we're going to
Because
critique it.
because
it.
I think it's well. First of all, everybody's putting out singles, and I'm
Right.
putting out an album, so you'll be very informative.
Well, it's called Imagine. I gave it 5 stars, if that's okay with you. That's as high as you can go.
About that, I gave you a note.
And you know what? I've noticed the legendary women of R&B and soul, they get better with age, their singing voice. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's not like basketball, like you lose your knees.
Yeah, that's true. That's
I mean,
true.
if you take care of it, but you have to learn how to do that. That's another story.
But your voice improves with age. I mean, I just saw Gladys Knight in person. She was here in Sarasota not recently, and I swear, man, she
Good example.
she was incredible. Nothing's changed there. And Dionne Warwick, I've had her on the show.
Yes.
Uh, Chaka Khan, of course, Diana Ross. Nothing's changed. The voice is still there.
Well, that's because they've changed, and I think they keep taking care of it. So it looks like nothing has changed. Or excuse me, it sounds like nothing's changed.
Well, you have a beautiful voice, and yes, you are blessed. You are blessed with a beautiful voice. It's an angelic, right? That's the perfect word for it, I guess. Angelic.
Well, I personally take credit for accepting help from my guardian angels
Right.
In God and the angelic force. Yes.
And I know your very strong beliefs in God, which I love.
Yes.
Got to have God in your life. That's the only way we're gonna make it in this world.
Right.
I'm gonna go through some tracks that I love. I call this album smooth, sophisticated, and inviting. Okay, I'm a big R&B fan, and you know I grew up in D.C., so of course, "So in Love," that's a big hit. Uh, the background vocals, is that you or is that somebody else?
On So in Love.
Well, "So in Love" and a couple of other tracks, I can hear background vocals.
On some of them, I'm in them. On So in Love, it just sounds like me because it's so well matched.
Right. So that is you.
No,
Oh,
no. On
that's
So
not
in Love,
you.
on my
Okay.
track, it's not me, but on others, it is.
Right. I like the blend. I love the blend with the
I mean, I
background.
started out in the industry as a backup singer. So
Right.
sometimes if you bring me a track or whatever, I'll ask, can I please sing backup the blend in it so you can hear and feel me in the background.
Yeah. I love it. I love the blend of you know your voice and the background singer as well. It's great. That's one of my favorite hits on the album, "So in Love." But there are others like "Take Me Away," another favorite. Again, is that you in the background on that one?
I'm mixed in there, yes.
Very seductive track. Very seductive.
Place called paradise. So we got to make it sweet, you know.
Yeah, I love it. It's got a great beat, great rhythm. Got some
They
good
all have
players on this
great
album.
beats and great rhythms, but they're not the same.
Right,
So I
right.
think that gives you levels and something to, you know, be grounded in, but it also gives it continuity
Hmm. Exactly.
from one song all the way. There's 10 songs, I think, on there.
You know what I noticed too? The album's very well produced and engineered as well.
Yes, excellent production.
Who's your producer?
One of them is Ronnie Song.
Okay.
One of them is Janice Dempsey.
Hmm.
I think those are the basic two that I used for all of the songs. They use other songwriters and producers
Right.
to collaborate, but they oversaw the whole technical aspect of the album. So I think that's why it also has continuity.
And now your daughter is very much involved, right, in the music
She
process.
brought me all of the songs because they come to me through her Uncle Bo,
Okay.
who is my ex-husband's brother.
Right.
So I ain't got nothing to do with them, you know, except through her.
How old's your daughter now?
Sorry,
How old is your daughter now?
40.
Oh, she's 40. Yeah.
But we're all grown.
I know. I know. My daughter's 36 and I got 5 grandkids, so yeah.
She kind of took, spearheaded and said, "Mom, I think you should hear these songs, first of all." I
Right.
said, "Well, great, sweetheart, but what am I going to do with them? I'm not with you guys anymore."
Yeah.
She says, "Well, let's just listen to them." And that happened over a period of about 2-3 years. And then we realized, well, I have more than 10 songs. We probably did about 15 or 20 songs. And we kind of picked out of them what we thought were the best ones.
Hmm.
And I said, "Okay, well, now what are we going to do?" She said, "Well, let Uncle Bo sequence them and master them and let you hear what the finished sound, the finished product sounds like.
Right.
And then we'll talk about that." So she actually, I didn't really have a concept,
Hmm.
but I realized in retrospect that Uncle Bo and her dad, Charles, are the reason, and they were behind getting the songwriters and the producers and the production of all of the songs that I had from the 80s on, maybe the late 70s, that
Yeah.
was successful. So basically what I was getting back was my team. I just didn't realize it. And
Right.
it was probably a good thing. I didn't look at it that way because I probably would have said, hell no. But I did. I said, "Okay, sweetheart, I'll try." I think she brought me, first of all, songs that I wouldn't have thought of doing. I think you see yourself from other people's perspective better, especially when you've been around a long time. You'll only do what you always did because you're comfortable with that. You know that.
Hmm.
But she said, "Well, try this, try that, try this." So I think she's gotten my diversity.
Yeah.
and she's bringing me into the digital age,
Right, right.
where the platforms are so diverse and varied.
They are.
You have a million seller in one, and the other one doesn't even know you're here.
I know. Yeah.
He said, but Mom, that means you can do everything that you are. Because I'm saying, what about radio? She said, radio? What about the world?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's so different now.
It is different. Yeah.
I think that's why the album I think it's great. First of all, it's not my concept.
Right.
But I think it's great because I'm listening to people who not only love me and care about me, but they know how to produce me.
Right.
Younger people are out there living in that world now
and
can tell me how I could still be relevant. And so the album is relevant.
Yes. I agree with you 100%. My daughter helps me too, like on Instagram and other avenues, because I didn't know anything about Instagram, Right.
And this is what we share in terms of being here as mentors and older ones who can be by example, because we're still here, we're still vibrant, but they make us relevant.
Yeah, make us relevant.
And we make them relevant. Because
True.
A lot of times if they don't know what their history is or they can't experience it,
exactly,
they feel like and they act like they were just born today.
Yeah.
They don't have any history to bring with them. They don't have any wisdom or foundation to bring with them. So we need each other is what I'm trying to say.
I agree with you 100%. It's all about the phone. In our generation, it was all about the music. I grew up with a transistor radio to my ear, listening to AM top 40 radio, that was everything. But today it's totally different.
Right.
And it does make me mad when kids don't know some of the people that I interview, like I got the chance.
Keep having us here so they get to know. We have to teach them now that we're still here.
Yeah, exactly. But they have every tool at their disposal. They can look up things on their phone and find out.
I see my daughter and her friends and people younger doing that all the time. I said, well, I don't know such. Google it, Mom.
Exactly. Yeah, we didn't have that.
She's basically telling me, you don't have a reason to stay ignorant because I'll Google it for you.
I was mad. I interviewed Connie Francis. I mean, come on. She's one of the biggest of the 50s, with all the hits she had. And so many of the kids, who? I don't know who that is. And now they're starting not to know who Johnny Carson is. And next is going to be the Beatles, Oh, God.
We don't pass it on or keep it in some way. There's no way for them to know it. Or it's there to be Googled, but we have to bring it to their
exactly.
attention. That it's of interest to them and they would have a reason to want to know.
I agree. But, I grew up and I love like Nat King Cole, all these people that were before my time. I loved them all, I didn't have a phone.
I guess I'm surprised. I never thought I would get older, right?
Right.
I don't know, because you don't feel like time is passing by.
Exactly.
I guess that's why it's important for somebody outside of you to kind of tell you, to be a mirror for you. Say,
right.
Or somebody has to tell you time is passing on.
I know.
You got to move this, you got to do that. They call it this now. You're not in that. And this is kind of like Main Street right now. You need to get there, to keep you living in your own community according to what time it is today.
Exactly. It's scary, Melba. Getting older and time's flying. Like you blink your eyes and boom, there goes 10 years,
Right.
Let me tell you, first of all, you look wonderful.
Thank you.
You look, what are you, 30 now or what?
Thank you.
You look fantastic. You really do. I'm glad. I'm so glad.
Okay.
How do you keep your voice in shape? Do you smoke? You don't smoke, do you?
No, I live my life like a Christian athlete.
Oh, good.
Well, like if I was what's the one who carries the ball in the football?
Oh, the running back or the fullback?
No, what's the one who? It's not
which
the
one?
Back, is it? Who's the one you throw the ball to and then he runs with it across the level?
Oh, the receiver, the wide receiver,
One of
quarterback.
them.
Okay, one of them, a football player.
Who's a very, very, very strong. That a lot of challenges are required. Like I walk mountains.
Really?
Swim.
Good.
My diet has changed with my age.
Yep.
I mean, I don't just live off candy bars anymore. And I
But
treat it like,
you
are you
stayed
ready?
so
Okay,
trim
hold
all
on.
these years, you know?
Well, it's not easy. It's not natural for me. I have to work at it, and
Right.
I could eat a certain way, but if I don't work out, I won't tighten up. You have to use the muscles. You
Hmm.
really have to treat it like, and the vocal muscles on each
Right.
person are unique and different. But there's something like basic to most singers, if anybody ever taught us this, and that is you have to stay away from dairy. You should really not eat a lot of red meats because they don't digest very well. You need
Right.
fish is good for you. Lots and lots and lots of water.
Yeah,
Since
a
the
lot of water.
pandemic and trying to stay healthy from the viruses that are going around, we're learning more
Oh,
about diet and what's required for us to stay well.
yeah.
But for singers, nobody teaches you, like, basically, if it doesn't come natural to you, especially, you're an athlete.
Yep.
You have to have that discipline developed in yourself, and you have to be in charge of it, because in many
That's
cases,
true.
your teachers or your colleagues don't know these things. So you have to develop techniques that work for you.
You know, I agree with you 100%. You are you are an athlete. Your voice
Right.
is,
Right.
yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. When I interviewed Dionne Warwick, I said, "You don't smoke, do you?" She says, "I've been smoking since I was 16 years old." I don't know how she does it.
Well, she breaks all the rules. Okay.
She broke all the
Most
rules.
people can't
Yes.
get away with that. I'll put it.
Not everybody can get away with that.
I used to smoke and all that, but it would take my voice away. Now, some people,
Right.
it doesn't, but most people eventually it will, or it'll give you
Yeah.
cancer or
Exactly.
COPD, or one of those lung problems, because you need your
Yeah.
lungs clean and healthy, and you need to work them out so that they can not only continue to support you, but they should continue to get better and stronger.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly right.
Nobody expects for them to deteriorate and just get old, so
Yeah.
you don't have the expectation that you could actually keep this, so you don't work at it.
Yeah. Did you have any issues with COVID at all in your household or no?
We caught some, kind of bad colds,
Right.
but I think one of the reasons I'm so like proactive
Right.
is because I grew up like with asthma, and I didn't know at that time it was probably because I was allergic to pig feet or something.
Of all things.
Oh, right, with flies and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but what was your question?
The COVID thing, did that have any
Oh,
effect on you?
um, so one of the things I've done is, like, I keep some cough syrup around,
Right.
because even an allergy, if you leave it alone, it'll turn into something.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
basically, we caught some kind of flu-like symptoms, but we got
Yeah,
rid of it pretty quickly,
that's
because
good.
at the beginning, nobody was telling you anything except quarantine.
Right.
They weren't even telling you to go get tested.
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
got tested. I said, yeah, but what about the symptoms? Nobody was telling you that. And our physicians didn't know. But
Yeah.
from being sick earlier in my life, I had,
Right.
and from being a singer and
Yep.
an athlete, I had some like a proactive measures, like keep vitamin C handy, take some, multivitamins,
Right.
lots of fluids, different fruit juices,
Hmm.
or actually from fresh fruits, because most of the time when you get juices, they put preservatives or things in them that are
That's
not good.
right.
So if you get live fruits, and so those things, I think, acted as anti-inflammatories for us, and antibodies for us, until we could get tested, so we could get vaccinated,
Right.
and all the other things that have come along to help us. So we really didn't suffer from the COVID, except from being shut
Oh,
in.
good. Good. Yeah, so many people I've interviewed did get it and got it pretty bad, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife would love you because she's a nurse, and hearing you talk about all those preventive care methods, she'll praise you.
Do you listen to her?
I'm sorry?
Do you listen to her?
I do listen to her, but you know what? They're their worst, you
No,
know.
that's why you're healthy and cute, huh?
I try. I am exercising every other day. I go to the gym. We have a gym here in our apartment complex, so that helps
Very
out a
good.
lot. Yeah.
Because what I've discovered is, especially what they call aerobic kinds of exercises, you
Right.
breathe hard. And that kind of not only ventilates you,
Yep.
but it cleans the blood. It strengthens the whole breathing mechanism.
Yep.
And because I'm Christian and I've studied this,
Right.
the breath is literally the Holy Spirit.
Yep. I agree.
So when you strengthen those areas, whatever
Yeah.
God has given you, they get enhanced. So you tell your nurse, "Wife, she did good."
Good, good, good. I will. But nurses and doctors are their worst patients. I have to
Oh,
take
yeah?
care of her constantly. Oh yeah, they don't
I
practice what they preach.
They're always taking care of everybody else, right?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I'm good at taking care of her though. Yeah.
You see, I'm good at taking care of me because y'all take care of me because you do that. But the story's about me. Right? I mean, we do get spoiled that way. People take care of us.
Yep.
I think we learn that way, that we have
Sure.
to take care of ourselves.
I agree.
But then, after we take care of ourselves, we got to take care of somebody too.
That's right. That's right. Back to the album, Can't Stop the Rain, man. What a beautiful track. I love that. I love that track. I love every song on this album. Imagine, another, very cool guitar on Imagine, a very jazzy type track.
Yes.
A message of hope and peace.
He sounds like a little Brazilian because
Yeah,
of
exactly.
But
Yeah.
Can't Stop the Rain sounds like a Jimi Hendrix guitar.
It does.
I'm trying to say verbally what the differences in some of the timbres and sounds of the song. You
Right.
and they're all good. I love that, but to show in words some of the differences between the tracks, and yet there's a continuity, it goes together.
There's some great titles for the songs as well, like Since I Took My Heart Back and Take Her Picture Down. I love that one.
I see physical motion with that, yes.
I've never heard that before. That's very clever, as a matter of fact.
That's written by and produced by Janice Dempsey.
Oh, okay.
And her personalities, she's a tiny people are very feisty. So I think she, of course, I'm tiny too. So she said, Melba, she doesn't call me Miss Moore. She's
Right.
She's in the age contemporary. She says, I want you to say this because it speaks to so many relationships
It
where
does.
the man or the woman has another relationship as well.
Right.
Obviously on the record, I'm in his house,
Yep.
laying across his bed, looking at somebody else's picture.
I love it. I love that. I love the lyrics. She's only using you. I just want the best things for you. It's so true. That's gonna hit home with a lot of people. That one song.
And it's the edgy expression of a love, affection for a person. I don't want to share with somebody else. And matter of fact, I won't. I'm not leaving either.
I'm not leaving. Just take her picture down.
We can go on with this relationship we're starting here.
It's incredible. Great song. The song Free, a bit gospel, maybe? A little bit of gospel in there?
Gospel.
Yeah.
Chris Simpson wrote the song. He's passed away now. But he sang with Kirk Franklin. He sang with John P. Key. But he's a real gospel person.
Yeah.
I haven't sung with Kirk Franklin or John P. Key, but I've been with them. And I still travel and continue to travel the gospel circuit. I don't know if you know who Shirley Murdoch is, but I have a duet with her called Call Me. She's written some songs because I didn't have any religious or gospel songs, and I wanted to do a gospel album. So she wrote something for me.
Yeah. That song kind of reminds me of the style, a little bit of a Disney style, the song itself. Like you could almost hear it as a theme or part of a Disney movie or something,
Okay. Yes.
Even though it has that gospel to it, it still has that style in it. I noticed, which was really cool. I could hear you singing for Disney on some soundtracks too.
Well, now that you said that, I could too.
Yeah, definitely.
And what's great is that I didn't have to hear it that way. What's great is that everybody who hears it hopefully will have a personal feeling about what they're experiencing. Yeah,
that's what music's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The highest star.
Thing.
The highest star is such a, you
Oh,
know, oh my gosh, that should be a hit, definitely.
I think it definitely is. Um, Everybody needs a hero. Is that the one?
Yes.
To set the spirits free. Starts out like that so you can get the feel of it.
You'll find your destiny, you know. Uh, it's such a great tune. You know, I was a top 40 disc jockey back in the late 70s, you know, back when
I'm
Donna
just saying that
Summer.
because then you real. Oh yeah, okay. Then you really know how to listen to.
Yes. Yes. And
So,
I could
and
tell you
since you-
what should be a hit, and that
right,
should be a hit.
right. If you're in radio, that's what counts.
Yep.
And then if you listen to music and translate that into, okay, what is going to reach people? What's going to touch them? What is going to be a hit?
Exactly.
That's another technical way of looking at the composition of a song and what it's made up of.
Right.
And I've learned how to do that too. My daughter brought me these songs, but I wouldn't have received them if I didn't think they were hits.
Sure. Exactly.
Because I have some experience at that now.
Yeah. You know, it's an interesting process when somebody writes a song and then you got to sing them. And, you know, that it sounds a little complicated in a way, doesn't it?
It is on
Yeah.
both sides. Because sometimes I have to just not pay attention to what I know about myself.
Right.
But I must know something about the person who's helping me to choose the song
Yeah.
and what their abilities are to choose for me if I can't choose, if I'm not able to do that.
Exactly.
I'm saying that in this case because in some of the songs, I thought that they were hits, but I wasn't sure that each one of them was for me to sing.
Right. Right.
And that if I sang it, it would still be a hit. Sometimes whoever's performing it makes all the difference in the world. You can have a great song. You put the wrong voice on it and it's not a hit anymore.
Exactly. And it's a nothing song,
Right.
you know, and then you bring in the instruments to it too. That's another complicated process.
Well,
you know,
the instruments to me are not complicated only because
really,
I didn't have to do that. All I had to do was keep it and say, yeah, this is fabulous.
yeah,
I can do that, So they bring me this whole foundation to see, can I fit into it?
Mm-hmm.
And I can say, I think I can, or I've had longevity, so I'm not always sure.
Yeah,
if I'm still going to be relevant to it. So I need some help there. So that's why I'll say, okay, well, I'll try it.
mm-hmm. Sure. You're such a pro, though. You've been around for a long time. You've done it all. I admire that. I really do.
Thank you.
Joy and Pain. That's epic. That's an epic song, and it spotlights your beautiful voice. And I heard kind of a Judy Garland type thing in that.
I would say theatrical.
Theatrical, yeah.
Yeah, not so much R&B.
Right.
But that's been my experience. So this is an incredible time for me to do an album when you can include all of what you are.
Exactly.
And the audiences, like if I'm not in theater, people think I retired because that's what they focus on. Well, maybe they don't necessarily follow my type of production of R&B. So normally speak, what used to be normal, we have a new normal.
Yeah, we do.
You have to pick one because only one type is going to be played on the radio station where you are targeting your audience.
Yeah.
But my daughter let me know that that's not necessarily your limitation right now.
Exactly.
Why don't you try it?
Yeah.
And see, and that's why I'm very pleased to say there is continuity because our audiences are much broader and versatile. And the internet is so expansive and so deep and so wide.
Yep.
You're not taking such a risk if you don't reach some people.
Exactly.
You could have one category and you can still have a million seller.
Well, you can do anything. I mean, you were nominated for like a rock voice at one time.
Yeah.
Right. I know you can do jazz easily. You got the showbiz, the show tunes. Any of those you can do. The R&B, the soul. You did disco. I mean, there's nothing left.
Well, let's see what they create. I'm not rapping right now.
You could do that too, I bet. You end the album with Forever. Beautiful tune. Talk about that particular song, Forever.
I think it's just a thank you, but
Right.
it's in the genre of more, I guess, like of a Judy Garland
Yep.
too. Would be more theatrical
Hmm.
and just thank you. It's been wonderful life, and you've been there with me, and because of you, I have this life, and thank
Hmm.
you.
Beautiful tune. Beautiful song. What about touring?
Purposely not necessarily in a R&B or
Right.
just rock, so you can just listen to it just as a piece of musical message rather than any particular genre.
Right.
Because you
What
have
about?
to do that now.
Yeah, exactly. What about touring? You going on tour? You going to tour this album?
Album is my lethal weapon for touring.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's people like you put me on the air and say she has music out. This is what she sounds like now. This is what she looks like now. So people call and say, we'll book you. Yes.
Yes, definitely. Well, we got some great places here in my area for you. Ruth Eckerd Hall, that's where Gladys Knight played. You'd be perfect there,
Right.
I think. And if you need any help contacting these promoters, I can help. I know all of them in my
Absolutely.
area.
We'd love to
Yeah,
have you help us do that.
yeah,
And in
definitely.
fact, we're in contact with you because I'm really assembling my team to
Good.
do everything that needs to be done now to support my career and of course the album. So we
Yeah,
glad to have your help.
I love the album. It's a wonderful album. I can listen to it over and over and over again, and that's what makes a great album when you can listen to it over and over and over again. You know, you were in Sarasota not that long ago, right? You were doing Billie Holiday, a salute to
Oh,
Billie
yes,
Holiday.
yes,
How did
yes.
I miss that?
Um, well, I don't know, but yes, it was a one woman was a Lady Day at the Emerson Bar and Grill, which is a very very well known one woman piece depicting Miss Billie Holiday's story, and I portrayed her. I was very 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 high and very very drunk, seemingly.
Now this was a Nate Jacobs thing. That's the West Coast Black Theater troupe. I want to give them a shout out, of course. And apparently, you raised $40,000 to save the troupe.
Well, he's always let me come in and help support his theater company. And it's one of the few, or maybe only, maybe they
Hmm.
make one or two other Black theater companies. That's always, well, a theater company is always very difficult. But a
Right,
Black theater company is still difficult because we're catching up with everything that's already been done for all the other
right,
colleges over the
right.
years. So we always try to help each other out. He gives me wonderful projects to do. I try to support his theater company.
I got to get Nate on my show so we can promote it
Oh,
for
he's
sure.
incredible. Oh, and
Yeah,
everything that he does.
because I wasn't aware of you coming, and I would have definitely been there if I knew you were there.
Yes.
So, oh well, you can't do it all, you know.
Thank goodness, it's great stuff to do.
Yeah. Um, I want to mention on your website the 1800 Egyptian thread count fine linens.
Oh, that's coming.
Is that coming?
Yes, Melba Moore Fine Linens.
You
It's
want to
on-
talk about it?
it's not ready yet, so
It's not yet. I saw really lovely pictures on your website.
well, I mean, the product is ready, but the
Okay.
websites and all the supportive promotion parts are not in place yet.
Well, the prices look great. I've got
Oh,
to tell you right off the
very,
bat.
very competitive. That's one of the first things that we did when we decided we were going to do the product. Yeah, they're definitely affordable and they're top quality.
I think you're
You
going to
made
do
me talk
great.
about
Hey, it's already out there. It's not a secret. It's on your website. So
yeah.
if they want to get a glimpse of what's coming, they should
That's
go to
it.
your website for sure. You know, I remember you so clearly on TV. You did so many TV shows, you know. Of course, you and Clifton Davis did your thing, which was one. I love Clifton Davis. He's so cool. And of course, he did Amen, you
Right.
know, with Sherman, right? Sherman Hensley.
Right.
Um, there was a summer variety show, I think, what you did, right?
Yes, it was a summer variety show replacing Carol Burnett for 6 weeks, I think it was. Yeah.
And it's still on YouTube. You can watch a lot of the episodes on YouTube.
Yeah.
But some of the shows you were on, oh my goodness, you were on what, Tim Conway?
Yeah.
I think you were on the Love Boat, weren't you?
Love Boat, Flip Book. Well, S. Sullivan, Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas. After I got the Tony Award for PURLIE, I was invited to do every television show that there was there. So that's how I really probably became known to most people in America.
Would you do that play again if they asked you to do it again? Yeah.
I think I would want to be one of the executive producers and help cast it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm not an ingenue anymore, so.
Right.
And I'm not playing Aunt Missy.
You were so cool in that play. You were incredible. But what was cool is you grew up in a very musical family.
Yes.
And let's see, it was your father managed Minton's Playhouse, where they had legendary jazz performers all the time. I mean, that is so incredible. Were you allowed to go there?
My mother and father didn't marry, so he wasn't in my life at that time. But
okay.
He was in my DNA. Okay.
Definitely in your DNA.
My mother married a musician.
Right.
From New York City to Newark. And then I had a sister and a brother and a whole family. And my stepfather was a piano player. Mm-hmm. So he made all us kids start to take piano lessons. He rehearsed his live band in our living room. So from then on, I was like immersed in music. And then I went to Music and Art High School in Newark, New Jersey. I majored in music education in Montclair University. Mm-hmm. Then I taught vocal music in the public schools before I entered as a backup singer in the recording industry.
You would have been such a cool music teacher, you know?
Well, some of my students I run into and they said I did well.
Yeah, I think so. I think you did okay. One thing you need to be very, very proud of, lift every voice and sing. That, I mean, I've talked to people, I think the most greatest honor is to have a song in the Library of Congress. That's what I always hear. That's like the ultimate thing. And you did.
It is. Well, it's very important from our aspect because when I learned about Lift Every Voice and Sing, I was part of the National Council of Negro Women.
Right.
Was great community service and was headed by Dr. Dorothy Height. And she invited me to sing the Negro National Anthem, and I didn't know that we had one. Right. So I went to my then record company, and the A&R person, Scott Folks, who was African-American too, said, Justin, we'd love to record it. I said, but I don't want to record it as a solo because if it's a hit, a lot of people like me won't know that it's our national anthem. They'll think it's my hit record. Exactly. Yeah. My idea to get people like Stevie Wonder, Dionne Warwick, CeCe Winans, the Clark sisters, and the whole list of Jesse Jackson to do the narration, right? Mugasa to do the visible, to get Debbie Allen to do the direction of the film part of it. Jasmine Guy to do her own choreographed of her version, and I'm probably leaving some of the other artists out, but I think it's made such an impact and was entered into the congressional record.
That's incredible. Because
of the impact that we had, having it come from Capitol Records, right? Having the permission from the NAACP, because they own the rights, and having been so really embedded in our establishment to launch it from a commercial record company. And all of those forces coming together, I think, helped to eventually get it entered into the congressional record.
Well, congratulations on that. That's incredible. That's something to add to your legacy for sure.
I agree.
Yeah. I got to ask you about Hair, because I remember when Hair came out, back in the 60s. Oh yeah, definitely.
Did you see me in it?
I didn't see you in it because you were in you were on Broadway, right?
Right.
But there were so many different productions. I think I saw it in DC, probably National Theater.
Could have seen it in Germany and seen Donna Summer.
Did you get to keep your clothes on?
I could have, but I didn't. They gave us a choice. We didn't have to do it, but I was
Right.
curious. I wanted
Really?
to. Yeah.
I bet in the production, didn't they bring people from the audience up too, up on stage? Didn't
Not for
they?
the nude scene.
No, not for the new scene. Oh wow. Oh well.
Well, in the beginning, actually, I think it starts when the moon is on the. I think it starts out with that, and by that time, the kids are crawling all over the seats in the audience.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the audience never had a chance. Later on, they got a chance to come up on the stage. We had already crawled all over them and say, "You are welcome. This is a be-in, and you
Yeah.
are in this be-in."
That was a cool play. You would have been great too in Jesus Christ Superstar with your voice.
Remember that show? Yeah.
Yeah, I could see you doing Mary Magdalene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was Mary Magdalene.
Were you?
But no, I'm saved now.
Oh, okay. You were. That's funny. That's funny. I like that.
No, you're absolutely right. Jesus Christ Superstar was kind of a follow type of what Hare had done in making contemporary music,
Right.
the style of music, the parodies that we had did that really addressed issues in our society that were confrontational, and Jesus Christ just went to the source. Jesus Christ.
It brought religion back to the young people, I think.
Yes.
It really did.
To the forefront, yes.
Yeah. It made it cool for them, And Godspell too. That was another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
You would have been great in Godspell also.
Thank you.
I don't think there's a play that you wouldn't have been great at, to be honest with you.
But
You got to know these guys. I had Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis Jr. on my show.
Yeah.
They are so awesome, aren't they? They're so nice.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And very spiritual as well.
And Marilyn is so tall and pretty. She makes everybody look short and ugly.
I know.
And they're good.
I kid Billy Davis. I said, "How did you land Marilyn?"
You know what? I think she landed him.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Love with him and took him over. He never had a chance.
He never had a chance. Yeah. Good for him.
My personal. I don't really know that, but
Right.
I know him.
So, who are some of your friends in the biz that you've known over these years?
Well, you mentioned Gladys.
Right.
Oh God. My mind goes blank right now, but it's just so many. I loved Aretha Franklin. I was a fan, but we were friends too.
Mm-hmm.
Just too many.
Diana?
I love Diana because you can tell already I'm a fan, right? But I remember, I think I was in Saks or Bloomingdale's or something. It might have been, was it Bendels? No. Bergdorf, that's where we were. I remember it because on the first floor, there's an escalator. And I was going by the escalator and I heard this sweet little voice said, calling down the escalator from up, "Melba." Who's calling me? And I looked up and it was Diana.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I said, "Oh my God." So we're not close friends.
Right.
She sees that, she knows I'm a fan.
I think it's so cool when you guys have when you're fans and you have your own heroes and crushes and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think many of us do. We really, whether we know it or not, or think about it, we inspire each other.
Yeah. We're
each different and unique. We admire what the other one is and how different we are from each other.
Yeah. Just
the unique things. Like Patti LaBelle knows I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
She called me recently just to say hi. I said, God, I was grown.
Some of my favorite singers, besides you, of course, I always loved Donna Summer because I was in
Oh,
radio
yes.
back when Donna, and I know her. I know her husband. He's a good friend. He's a good guy. I've had him on the show a bunch of times. But Minnie Riperton with her
Oh,
voice,
yes. I
and
work with many.
and Sarita Wright, I loved.
Love her voice, yes.
I love
Only
Sarita
heard
Wright.
a couple of songs, but I loved her.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
wasn't a friend, but I was definitely a fan.
yep, yeah. She was incredible. Um, I've got a question for you that I ask everybody, and I get some very, very interesting answers. And if you had a Field of Dreams wish, like the movie, to perform or collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
To collaborate with,
Mm-hmm.
nobody comes to mind like to do a duet or something with, but
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I would want whoever's had the most consecutive hits, send me their songwriters.
How about you and Diana?
I think she would overshadow me.
You think so? I don't know.
She's sweet, but she may not even know the power, but I think she does. She's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
You don't get on the stage with power.
Yeah.
I'm right?
I've heard you hold a note, and I don't know anybody that can hold a note like you do. I'm serious.
So, but how does that make me a good duet with Diana?
Well, I don't know.
That's what you wanna
She'd
know
be in the
from-
background.
I don't think so. But now that you mentioned it, I would never think of anything like that. But
Hmm.
that could be very, very, very interesting if we scripted and sculpted something for both of us.
Yes.
I just hadn't thought of it.
The world needs another special. Like an R&B special.
But
Do you
once
remember?
again, you'd have to have somebody really conceive it and create it.
I know.
Like Motown 25 was.
Exactly. That's what I was going to mention,
Yeah.
But the innovators, all those innovators are gone. A lot of those guys,
Innovators. Now that you mention it,
If I had the money, I'd do it.
sometimes you always take money. You're on the air hands and you're presenting it. You
Yep.
put it in the ethos there, not, maybe somebody else who's creative and who really has that gift would help to come up with something like that.
It needs to be
It's not
done.
my gift, so I would never think of it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason it wouldn't be done.
Yeah.
And if I did think of it, I would script something that would honor Miss Ross.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even though I was on the stage with her, I wouldn't be in competition with her. Because I think with our limited way of thinking about this,
Right.
it would be that. And then of course it would never be, because she don't need this. It would have to be something she would want.
Yeah.
But now, see, you've triggered something here.
It needs to be done.
And not just with Miss Ross, but with some other people.
Yeah, Gladys Knight.
Some of the people that you mentioned would be great. Like if we had something sculpted, I would really love to. You know who I'd love to do something with? Now that you mention it, Patti LaBelle.
Oh man.
Because we're different, but we're alike.
Yeah.
But if it were sculpted for us,
Yeah.
we could just have fun and enjoy each other too.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm glad you thought of that.
Everything's focused on rap for so many years now, and what about our generation? I mean, you got to admit the 60s and 70s R&B and soul was so classy. The group, Four Tops, Temptations, Motown, they were the classiest of the class. I mean, the way they dressed, the way they acted, the way they conducted themselves. I miss those days. I really do.
It's not that anymore, but R&B has continued to thrive and stay here. And so we have new artists that, and then it sounds different because it's evolving. But it's here and still alive. It's just like, I guess, anything else that's live. It's not static. It can't stay the same.
Yep.
So, what's the group that sings "I'ma Leave the Door Open"? Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
That's a good example of them keeping that alive when they're young and new. I don't know that they can keep it like that, because time is passing, so things have they have
Yeah.
to move on. And so it's not wrong for us to miss it and reminisce about it,
Right.
but things have to come up too.
Yeah. I guess Bruno Mars is probably a good example. I'm friends with a guy named Binky Womack. Guess who his family is? The Womacks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was his uncle. And
Bobby
good
Womack.
guy. I've had him on the show many a times. So talented, but you know, he's also a record producer as well. So, but he's a class act. You
Mhm.
know, I asked him, I said, do you get these rappers in your studio? He says, no, I don't need any trouble.
But you know, that's not the only that is evolving too. And I'm hearing
Yeah.
Christian rap, for instance,
Christian rap. Yeah.
they're not going to disrespect God, but they don't have to
Right.
kill the art that God gave us.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I think that as it continues to stay around, just like most of the music when it started out was kind of raw and kind of just because it always comes from poor people.
Right.
They don't have the finesse and the education,
Yep.
but they have the creativity, they have the power.
Exactly.
And if it's
Yeah.
allowed to stay, it will evolve and it will become more sophisticated.
Right.
I believe that is what's happening now.
Exactly. I agree. I agree 100%. But that show must happen. It really does.
You put it out there. I probably will go on to promoting this album and everything, but I bet you put it out there and somebody's, maybe more than one person will come up with some ideas of how.
I hope so. And I think you should be the MC. You should be
I
the
can do
MC.
that.
Yeah, you're good at it.
You give me a script. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have a lot of great ideas. Maybe you should think about putting it together.
I have a lot of ideas, a lot of things I'd love to do, but
Do you have the time?
I got the time. But yeah, it does take some money, you know, to get it done.
No. Don't start with the money.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, you're saying this to me, and if you don't put it down and maybe
Right.
go back and see, can you develop it? It's going to go away. You never
Yep.
get the money.
True. I've done over 1,000 interviews with guys. I mean, I can tell you, I put people together that, you know, that don't talk to each other for years. And I say,
Well,
you know,
That's part of the key because
Yeah.
you're under the linchpin. Well, I mean, certain things I would never think of because I'm in another lane.
right.
Because of where you are, you do think of these things, but if you don't do them or you don't put them someplace where you can come back to them,
Yeah.
then that's not what we do. So they won't get done
Yeah.
because you're missing.
True. I'd love to do it. I love music. I've loved music since I was a little kid.
Stay in touch with me. I don't know who else,
Hmm.
because I would at some point be able to kind of follow through and start taking some steps toward finishing the idea, first of all,
Yep.
so that you could get it to a point where you could present it to somebody that would
Okay.
pay for it.
Yeah.
And then people who are adept at actually producing and putting it up. That's the process. You have to go through the whole process. That's all.
Just got to find somebody like me that loves the music as much as I do, you
We
know?
got you.
Yeah,
I'm saying, go ahead and put some of the ideas down.
I will.
Then
I will.
let's see what we could do for the next
Yeah.
step.
Well, I've written books. I've got 3 books out, as a matter of fact. So I am dedicated. You know, Melba, is there anything else we need to promote?
No,
Anything else coming up?
lots of things coming up, but I want you
Okay.
to imagine.
Okay. Imagine 5 stars. It is incredible. Fantastic album. It's like you never left us, and you haven't left us. I mean, you got so many albums out. You've been very consistent throughout the years, you know, and it
So-
hasn't been easy for you either.
No, it hasn't. But we want to remind your listeners or your viewers to please download and stream Imagine, please.
Yes. It's available on Amazon.com as well, and all avenues. It's out. I want to say very special thanks to Kevin Goins of Double Exposure Media Relations for arranging this interview with Melba Moore. They are also the ones that got me Dionne Warwick as well, which so I'm very, very, and I think some other people as well. So yeah, they're great people. Melba, thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it. You look fantastic. I'm so happy for you. Keep doing what you're doing. I'll get my ideas going. I'll let you know.
And put them down and stay in touch. Yes.
I will stay in touch for sure. And God bless you.
Thank you so much, Ray.
Thank you, Melba. Take care.
Enjoy the day. Okay.
Bye bye.